Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of the Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, AR the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about how leftists in our society, both here in America and it seems like worldwide for that matter, are getting more and more brazen than ever, especially the ones who are obviously pedophiles in this nation. So, yeah, it's just absolutely disgusting, dude. I'm going to talk about a couple of stories based on that shit today. There was a woman who called up a radio station in Philadelphia the other day, basically advocating for adding pedophiles to the whole LGBTQ, quilt bag mafia. There's what it is, which it's kind of ironic given the fact you already have those fuckers behind the scenes running things for like the last decade or so, dude. They're just not actually named. The whole fucking alliteration is what it is there. We also got Gays Against Groomers. There was a guy that is like one of these pedo hunter people called I Fight for Kids, who busted the head of the Democrats of Maryland LGBTQ chapter trying to meet up with a 14-year-old kid. So, yeah, they're out there. There's also another story I want to talk about too, which is this young punk ass kid, young, probably, I don't know how old this kid is. He's at least 18 for sure. I would say maybe like 21, 22 or so, give or take, who apparently was filming himself walking around a Walmart recently, moaning in people's ears. And ironically enough, every single person he was moaning in the ear of was a white dude. So really, somebody put in the comment section, people like that aren't getting their asses knocked out anymore, and that's what the real problem is. And I would say, truthfully, it's that to some extent, but it's also the fact you have fatherless homes in this country with these fucking punks, and they never actually, not even just fatherless homes, like parentless homes, honestly, is what it is most of the time. It's like, grandparent or something's raising them, or aunt or uncle or something like that, usually is what it is there. And so they have no structure in the household, is what it is. They never fucking, I think in some cases they do know right from wrong, they just don't care is what it is. But yeah, they've never really been given, consequences for their actions. They never done stupid shit and they got their fucking ass beat or got their mouth washed out with soap and stuff like that. And that's the problem right there. You have no moral compass at all with these little punk ass pieces of shit, where they just want to fucking be a bunch of clout chasing ass clowns and assholes in general is what it is. And it's not just kids like this, honestly, these young black males and stuff like that. It's also the morons out there like the Tanner Cooks of the world and stuff like that want to fuck around with people and shit like that. And then they wonder why they get fucking shot in the stomach, honestly. Like it's not that hard to figure out, dude. Like there is a reason, by the way, why I carry pepper spray with me every fucking day I walk out of this house right now. And, some motherfucker comes up and starts moaning fucking disgusting shit in my ear, dude. I'm gonna fucking right then and there, dude, and deal with the fucking problem. That's what it'll be. So, and I have a really good right to do that, is what it is, dude, because you're invading my personal space. So, anyway. But yeah, to start out with that one, then we're gonna go to the other stories what it is here. By the way, sorry for not doing a Freedom Friday yesterday. I got very, very tired yesterday from the heat and everything like that, and I eventually just fell asleep as it was. So, but yeah, you got this little dipshit right here, just walking up to random dudes and start moaning their fucking ear, and the guy's like, "Got me to help everybody?" And it's like, no, dude, just fucking kick this guy in the fucking head or something, dude. Seriously. Like, he kept doing that shit, and what's interesting is there's this old guy here, man, where he, and that dude almost threw fists. Like, he fucking should have thrown a fist in his ass. Like, he should have just punched up is what it was. But the real problem is everybody's like, "Oh, can I help you?" It's like, dude, no, just fucking punch his fucking lights out, honestly, is what it is. And do what needs to be done to fucking fix our society, make it better is what it is there. And of course, there was this guy at the very end he was basically fucking with, who eventually told me he's gonna call the cops on his ass before walking away and stuff. Again, beat this fucking guy's ass in the parking lot and solve the fucking problem right there, dude. That's the solution to the fucking problem. Bitch slap across the face, punch in the fucking mouth. It's not that hard, people. Seriously. Motherfucker wants to try and fuck with you to try to be a clout chasing little piece of shit. Fucking clock his ass in the face is what it is, dude. So, because you know damn well this guy's doing this against white guys, because the other black males, they fucking beat his ass in the streets is what it is. They're dude for real. Like, he'd be on the ground being like, fucking snoring, literally. And most likely in that case, they would actually go one step further and try to turn his pockets out to steal from his ass is what it is than to rob him. So, but yeah, it's just, it really is like the brazenness of these assholes in our society anymore, dude. And the worst thing of it is they think it's fucking pranks when it's not, dude. It's like, truthfully, honestly, it could be a form of assault if that be the case, because at the very minimum, you're invading people's spaces and stuff like that, and to the point where you would actually probably get trespassed from a store if you were doing that shit enough, dude, and the cops were called out there for your ass. So, yeah. Like, really, really ironic that, we're not having these kind of issues dealt with accordingly, dude, because, again, like, this is the issue. And then that you get, 15, 20 of these idiots together like that, dude, and they're the same morons that were going to Chipotle the other day, and then basically being told to fuck off immediately. And that's the real problem, honestly, is, like, the people at the store themselves, whether it be, the security guys, whatever it is, dude, should just be escorting these fuckers off premises, is what it is. Like, don't ever come back or we're calling the fucking cops. And that would be a way to fix that shit immediately, is what it is. So, anyway. It really is just time to ostracize certain individuals from our society and just permanent exile some motherfuckers out of our country entirely, is what it is. Like that piece of shit, Jaya Pole. For those who haven't heard about that fucking cunt the other day, she had the audacity. There was a young girl recently. She was 12 years old, molested and murdered in it was Texas. And you ended up having that piece of shit Jaya Pole go on to... Yeah, it was this story here, I believe is what it was. It was this Jacqueline... I'm trying to think of this girl's last name now. Okay, this one doesn't actually... Oh, yeah, there we go. Jacqueline Nangari, I think it's her pronounced name. Who was this this young gal right here in the obviously red dye job hair. And you have these two pieces of shit illegals, 26 and a 21-year-old, both from Venezuela, arrested in Houston, Texas for her death. So according to police, they were seen speaking with her before he was seen with her at a convenience store, and later on a bridge where she was eventually killed. So the real problem is that one of these fuckers, which was according to New York Post, it said one of the men was released in U.S. custody after he claimed he was afraid for his life. These are the fucking fighting age males that Nicolas Maduro literally fucking evacuated the Venezuelan prisons and sent to America, dude. Seriously. Why the fuck are we letting these cocksuckers even step foot on our fucking soil, dude? There should be armed military at the fucking border right now doing what needs to be fucking done. And I mean that shit seriously. And I am talking about the pew-pew. Just to be clear on that one. Seriously, any other fucking time period of history, this shit would be treated as the fucking invasion it is, dude. It would be a declaration of fucking war. The fact that there's not a declaration of fucking war right now over this shit is fucking ridiculous entirely, dude. When you literally have fighting age males from every fucking corner of the goddamn world invading our fucking borders, dude. All at the behest of pieces of shit like George Soros, who's literally funding like 90% of this shit through various organizations and stuff. And the sad part is, had Jacqueline not left her house that night, because she basically snuck out of her home, is what it was. And I think it was reported that she and her mom had a fight or something like that, and then she snuck out after her mom supposedly went to bed, is what it was there. But even still, she should still be alive today, is what it is, dude. Like, had these two pieces of shit not been in our fucking country, even after she snuck out, dude, she would have still been at a convenience store alone by herself, whatever the case be, and then probably gotten home alone by herself. Never encountered anybody evil, is what it was there. So... Oh, speaking of other pedo stories too, by the way, in this one, because that was obviously one of the international pedo stories. And we also got this one here, which was Joel Searby, a member of the Newberry Education First Board, which would be, okay, apparently blocked out there, was just arrested for allegedly soliciting sex acts from a 15-year-old boy. Said Searby reportedly sent lewd messages, multiple inappropriate photos of himself, and arranged to meet the child at his home. And then let's TikTok right away. So there's a pedo infestation in our schools. Yes, there is. And it's not just guys either, for that matter. It's females too, dude. One thing I've noticed too, I'm not sure how old this dude is, obviously, but like with the female pedos in our school system is what it is anymore. A lot of them are teachers, by the way. It seems like they're mostly like the older age Gen Z people, or maybe like the very last couple of years of like millennial generation is what it is there. So there is that. And then, yeah, this is the fucking thing I was talking about with this piece of shit, Jaya Pole. So she went on that fucking dumb cunt Joy Reid's retarded ass MSNBC show the other day. And this TikTok said the other day, said, call Jaya Pole's office to ask what's funny about a minor getting raped by an illegal. I think we all missed the joke. Hopefully she returned the call. No, she won't, dude. That's the whole point. It's a bunch of shit is what it is, dude. Let's go and see what it actually said here, though.
Thank you for contacting my DC office. I apologize that we're currently unavailable. The DC office hours are 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific Time, Monday through Friday. Your thoughts and opinions of 7th District constituents are very important to me, so please do leave a message and we will get back to you. Thanks again for calling.
Hi, Congresswoman Jaya Paul. My name is Kaya, and I saw a video of you laughing on Joy Reid's show when you talked about a 13-year-old girl getting raped by an illegal in your city.
Okay, that was a different one.
Calling, wondering, what was so funny. I might have missed the joke. I saw the clip. I didn't see a joke in there, so I was hoping to get some clarification on that and find out what was so funny about a 13-year-old minor getting raped. If you can call me back, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, honestly, like, this is a great example of why Jaya Pole should just be exiled from our fucking country entirely, dude. Because I don't believe she's actually an American citizen by birth is what it is. And her ass has no business being on our fucking soil anymore is what it is, especially not in Congress at all. So, like, enough is enough of this fucking shit, dude. It really is time to kick these fuckers out of our country entirely is what it is, man. Oh, and then, of course, you had this one, too. So there was this fucking other dude in Portland, Oregon the other day who was most likely an illegal, is my guess here, was trying to meet up with a 14-year-old girl and was met up by one of these pedo hunter people is what it is there. And, of course, what'd you have in the situation? Some fucking dumb white leftist cunt right here opening her stupid goddamn mouth and talking about, oh, I'm here to make sure that the brown person was safe. Get the fuck out of here, you Antifa fucking piece of shit cunt. It's none of your goddamn business what the fuck's going on here, bitch. Keep your fucking nose out of everybody else's business, bitch. Seriously. That's the fucking problem right now. Unless your ass wants to be charged as a fucking accessory after the fact, you dumb whore. And of course you got this one, which was the mother of the girl who was murdered there in Texas the other day by those piece of shit illegals from Venezuela. He's basically calling for justice. There won't be, honestly. The only justice would have been taking these motherfuckers out to the goddamn desert and putting them back their fucking heads in the shallow graves and stuff like that, dude. And I mean that shit seriously. Like, that would have been the only justice at this point. No trial, no jury, just fucking execution. On the spot execution is what it is there. So. And then speaking of pedophiles in Biden's wannabe administration, you had this one from the other day, which was a congressional hearing of some fucking piece of shit judge who should have been disbarred on the fucking spot, by the way. You have federal Senator John Kennedy asked Biden nominee for First Circuit Court of Appeals judge Julia Lopez, something like that, why she called a man who molested a 4- and 9-year-old girl, so he molested 2 different girls, 4 and 9 years old, quote, a person who has a lot of good in him, and why she suspended half of his sentence. Says she beat around the bush and refused to answer the question. Why we shouldn't have pedophile apologists appointed for judge positions. We shouldn't have these pieces of shit in any position of power at all. That's the whole fucking point. This bitch has no business being in office whatsoever, dude. In fact, she's called an honorable. Fuck that. No, she's not, dude. She is a fucking dishonorable, fucking goddamn disgrace to our fucking society, and she needs to be fucking drummed the fuck out of any judgeship or any other position of power in this fucking country entirely, and face fucking charges herself for fucking facilitating child rape in this country. I'm so fucking sick of this shit, dude. I'm so goddamn fucking sick and tired of these fucking pedophiles thinking they can walk, or pedophile enablers for that matter, thinking they can fucking walk around, be all hot shit and stuff like that, and not get their fucking asses beat in the streets is what it is, dude. And then tossed the fucking federal prison where they belong. So, anyway. Which moves us on to our next to last story, which is the one from Maryland, and then we're eventually going to get to that one from Philly. There's what it is. So we got the Alex Rosen guy, the Effort for Kids dude. So just busted the head of an LGBTQ Dems from Maryland for sending extremely disturbing sexual texts to who he thought was a 14-year-old boy. Gays Against Groomers people said, "We hope this vile pedophile never knows another day of peace in his life." No, he fucking doesn't need to at all, dude. Go ahead and listen to this one.
Anyway, you're the head of the LGBTQ Dems in Maryland. How long have you been in that position for? Okay. Is that like a paid position? Okay. Just more of a volunteer type thing? Is it like a super PAC or something? Or okay. So this stuff said here, like, you know, I want to rape you. I want to see how much of a faggot you are. What was kind of said about that? Yeah.
I like the fantasy, and he seemed to.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
Mihira said it's okay if you want to jerk off looking at it, talking about your dick. And you said, stop by this morning so I can stretch your hole.
Oh, goddamn, dude. I can't go any more than that. I'm sorry I even clicked on that fucking link, dude, because that's, God, it's fucking disgusting. Like, seriously, the problem I have with this shit right here is this dude should be on the fucking ground, like, completely KO'd at that point, dude. Like, this is the problem with our society, is fucking child molesting pieces of shit like this in it. And this is what I'm saying, dude. These are the fucking heads of these so-called pride organizations, people. These are the people trying to push for this bullshit in our society. These are the same sick fuckers who want to make trans kids a reality in our fucking society is what it is, dude. Like, when is enough of fucking enough, dude? Like, seriously. Like, when is enough of fucking enough? And then finally, the video I was talking about from that Philly news radio station there. By the way, this is all fair use, just to be clear on this one. It's all fair use for informational purposes. It's all covered under freedom of speech. So yeah, you have a caller in this radio station believes P should be added to LGBTQ to include pedophiles.
I work with IPCE. If you don't know, that's International Pedophile and Child Emancipation. And our goal is to...
By the way, I actually did a little bit of research before I started this episode just to confirm that actually is a real organization. And yes, apparently, I guess it is, which makes it even more disgusting for that matter. And not only that, but I guess like there's actually a Wikipedia page that actually has a list of international organizations like that across our fucking earth right now. The fact that any of it exists at all is fucking ridiculous entirely, dude. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. So, yeah, just wanted to bring context to that one, is what it is.
Abolish the stigmatization of people with pedophilic sexual interests and normalizing the potential role in moderating pedophiles' emotional well-being.
Jesus fucking
I know that's a
Christ.
mouthful.
Wait, before we get any
What
What
further,
are we saying right now?
yeah, this sounds disgusting. Are you saying
Because it
you're a
is
pedophile?
disgusting.
No, I'm not saying that I'm a pedophile.
You notice that, right? So the fucking news anchor, or the radio host guy was like, basically calling the chick. He's like, "Oh, are you saying you're a pedophile, lady?" And she's like, "No, I'm not saying that at all." No, what she's saying is she's enabling them, for that matter, though, because she's actually advocating for these sick fuckers to go molest kids, which actually makes her even worse on that, in my opinion, anyway, because you're helping facilitate this disgusting fucking behavior is what it is, lady. Which, honestly, she might as well be a pedophile at that point, dude, because you're enabling the shit. At minimum.
In the sense that I've never had sexual relations with a person underage.
But you're
the
saying we
age of
should
consent,
accept
because
pedophiles?
that's illegal. Well, I just don't believe we should be shunning those in our community that have desires to engage
Christ,
in a
dude.
romantic relationship with someone in a drastically different age group.
Good God, dude. So I want to point something out on that one. So you notice how she kind of shifted there, right? So radio host guy calls her out for being a pedo, basically. She's like, oh, no, I'm not, because she then went on to say she never actually had a relationship with an underage kid, basically, is what it is there, dude. And it's like, what that tells me, though, is that she wants to. Is that she basically is admitting as much as a fact that she would if she could, but she just hasn't at this point, which means that she has the desires and the fucking everything else like that, the fantasies, etc. there, to do such things to kids, is what it is, because she's a sick piece of shit cunt, dude. So, anyway. Continuing on.
So you're saying you support pedophiles?
I'm saying I support love.
Jesus fucking
And just
Christ,
because
dude.
America views ages like 18 as some sort of imaginary bar or line in the sand for humans to engage in romantic relationships doesn't mean it's right.
Wait. What the fuck? Imagine, are you fucking kidding me, lady? God damn, like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. It's not an imaginary line in the sand, it's literally legal age of consent, you stupid fucking cunt. Like, fucking hell, man. And the reason it's legal age of consent, by the way, is because it also happens to be the same age that you're not considered a legal adult, where you get voting rights and the right to be able to serve your country in the military, etc. There's what it is. It used to be, actually, before the 1970s was what it was, or like maybe it was really early 70s, like 70, 71, something like that is what it was there. You could actually buy beer at 18, too, for that matter. I'm not so sure you could buy hard alcohol, but I think you could buy at least beer anyway back in those days. But then they upped the age of 21 for any kind of alcoholic beverage, what it was there. Which I think had to do with a bunch of teenagers getting drunk and driving and stuff like that, what it was then. Or at least that's how they portrayed it anyway. So, anyway, continuing on with the rest of this, though. Got about 20-something seconds left here.
You don't see anything.
Right.
So you don't see anything wrong with a 20-year-old dating a 12-year-old.
That's not what I'm saying, but listen. And
Yeah, it's funny she says not what she's saying. Yet, meanwhile, in California, you got pedophiles in the California State Senate like Scott Wiener, who's actually put that kind of legislation into place right now, dude. Because you can literally have relationships. Well, technically, I don't know if it's, I think it was somebody else too before him, though. Because he did the one for, like, basically gay kids is what it was. Whereas I guess there was one already on the books in California, like, some years ago or something like that. For, like, anybody in straight relationships that were, like, 10-year age gaps or something like that is what it was. Which is also not okay for that matter. None of it's okay. And it shows there's pedophiles on both sides of the fucking California General Assembly, both straight and gay for that matter. And probably all Democrats is my assumption, honestly. But yeah, Wiener's basically one made waves now because he's the one pushing the shit. Like, all these gay versions of this stuff is what it is there. Or like the one where he did here a few years ago now, where in California you can legally have sex with somebody if you're AIDS positive without telling them your status of being AIDS positive is what it is there, having HIV stat or having any kind of HIV in your system is what it is there. So you can legally, so in California, because of Scott Wiener, you can literally spread HIV to someone else without their fucking knowledge. It's so fucked up, dude. It used to be a death sentence. It kind of still is, honestly. Because even with all the drugs on the market now, like, you're still going to have that shit in your system forever is what it is, dude. It's never going to go away all the way is what it is. So, it's just not, you're just not going to die from it is what it is, but you're going to be, having it active in your system for the rest of your life is what it'll be then. So, anyway, so let me continue on. Here's what it is. Go back a couple seconds there.
that's not what I'm saying, but listen. In Nigeria, the age of consent is 11.
Okay. I'm going to go back on that one more time now because I want to hear that exact thing verbatim. There is what she's saying there.
It's right.
So you don't see anything wrong with a 20-year-old dating a 12-year-old.
That's not what I'm saying, but listen. In Nigeria, the age of consent is 11.
Okay, so basically, she tries to dissuade away from the fact of her own fucked up, disgusting proclivity is what it is there, dude. Of adults and kids having relationships together, and then proceeds to go to Nigeria, one of the biggest third world hellholes in this entire fucking earth, and how their age of consent is 11 years old, dude. And again, you wonder why there's massive AIDS outbreaks in those countries, dude. Whether it be Nigeria or any other fucking African nation in this world, basically. You wonder why people created a device called the Rape Axe, where it's literally like this weird cup thing that a chick, puts inside of her area there, in her private area. And then when the dude, like, shoves his cock in to rape her, it literally is, like, basically, like, jagged barbs that, like, stick into his dick and stuff like that. That's what it is. Now, granted, that's if you only have to deal with one guy that's trying to rape you, that's what it is. Usually these fucking sick fucks will go around trying to rape these young girls in fucking packs and stuff like that, dude. So, yeah, you might have it on the first guy and stuff like that, but then you're going to have, like, 4 or 5 others fucking try to dogpile you is what it's going to be then. And what's even more fucked up is going on that, down that road of thought and stuff like that right now. Because there's actually been documentaries that have proven that a lot of these African nations, they are so backwards thinking that they believe they can essentially have a young virgin female like that, rape that girl, and somehow the AIDS that they have inside of them is now going to disappear. Instead of it just going on to that girl is what it is then. Like, that's how fucked up their heads are is what it is, dude. And their intelligence levels and stuff like that. That they think magically them spreading a disease to someone else is going to somehow eradicate it from their own body is what it is. Instead of the opposite way. And yet she's trying to justify that as a fucking country that allows adults to basically bang children is what it is there. Like, God, these people are so disgusting, dude. I tell you what. It just, God, it's so fucking infuriating, man. Anyway, continuing on, though.
14 in other countries like Brazil, Colombia. If we're...
Okay, so she says it's 14 in countries like Brazil and Colombia. Again, third world fucking hellholes, dude.
Excuse me. If we're taking a month as a country to showcase our pride for other communities of sexual exploration, then I think we should add the letter P, which is just as important as the L, G, B, and T.
Oh my.
So in the first place, most of us don't want a fucking month for this disgusting proclivities, these sick fuckers, dude. We shouldn't even have a fucking day for these people in most cases. It's them making a month for themselves and forcing it on society is what it is, you sick bitch. Like, that's the problem right there. But I will agree with the guy in that situation that was the radio host, dude. At least both him and his female co-host there are completely disgusted by this woman's fucking behavior is what it is. As they should be, because it's fucking disgusting is what it is, dude. It's absolutely fucking horrendous. So, anyway. Going over to that Lauren woman's thing, who was the original poster of that. She's one of these Trump mega people is what it is there. And, she said here, she said pedophiles are just out in the open now. What do you think will be a better, do you think this will be a better year from now? Be better a year from now? I would hope so. I mean, it depends, dude. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, everybody assumes, like, Trump getting back in is going to be, like, the thing that basically allows the shit to happen and stuff like that. I don't know if it will be or not, dude, honestly. I didn't realize apparently this Warren woman was actually a 2020 GOP nominee for Senate there. I was assuming she didn't win, obviously. But anyway, and you got this Mr. Reagan guy. He's the one from YouTube here that does a bunch of stuff. He said, I always include the P in the LGBTQP because the P's are totally part of that movement, perhaps more than any of the other letters. Oh, yeah, 100%. Dude, like I said, like, really, I would say, truthfully, when they did the whole, like, Pride Month thing about a decade ago, give or take now is what it is. Like, that's when you really had them fucking take over that movement is what it is, dude. Like I said, they're basically the puppet masters pulling the strings behind the fucking, trying to think of this thing to call it now, the puppets themselves. Something with an M, like it's not mannequin, but it's like something similar to that though. But yeah, they're the ones like really pulling the fucking puppet strings of these things. And just being like, dance, my people, dance. And yeah, it's why you have these sick sons of bitches out there the other day in Wisconsin, where you had a fucking like 10 or 11-year-old kid out there doing a naked bicycle ride with a bunch of fucking adults around her, dude. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? It just, oh my God, man. We are going to see a definite fucking resurgence pretty soon in this country to just deal with these fuckers, what it is, dude. The real problem, though, honestly, with the pendulum swing is I think the swing itself that happens pretty soon in this country is going to go like way further than it needs to, basically. Because instead of just dealing with these fuckers only, it's going to go like way past that. It's just going to create what the left has been trying to will into place for decades now, which is the right-wing fascism and stuff like that is what it'll be, dude. And it might be like a fucking authoritarian dictator fist and stuff like that coming out of nowhere and doing whatever then. So, yeah, somebody else pointed out in the comment section about that sick, disgusting woman that called that radio station there. So when asked if she's a pedophile, she says no, she's never had sex with a minor. But when asked about her cause, all of a sudden it's romance and love. Well, that's the whole thing, right? You even look at like the whole like pedophile agenda in the quote bag mafia. There's what it is, dude. And you have these people that came up with that whole like love is love bullshit and stuff like that. Is what it is, dude. And it's like they'll say that stuff because they really don't want to go out there and out themselves as a bunch of child molesters. What it is, dude. And be all like Namble and shit like that is what it is, dude. Even though that's exactly what these fuckers are in most cases, what it is there. So, anyway. This is why I call this shit every time I see it, dude, because I'm so fucking disgusted by it. And it needs to be called out for what it fucking is. It's just disgusting behavior by sick fuckers that don't need to be alive anymore in this nation or any other nation for that matter. Anyway, the person that was saying about that woman there, it said, point being that woman knows difference, but she thinks she's mastered the English language enough to talk around it. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what it is, dude. It's all doublespeak is what it is for people. They'll be like, oh, no, they're not like... They'll sit there and be like, oh, no, I'm not that person, or whatever the case be. But then they'll sit there and also, in the same breath, basically be like, oh, it's just romance and love and shit. It's like, no, it's not, you sick fucking piece of shit. Like, what the hell is the matter with you? Seriously. Anyway, as John got here said, I think they have already been adopted into that community. Why else would we find it so important to sexualize kids at every turn? I swear, those who support these people are complacent in all kinds of this stuff. Oh yeah, they are, dude. It's fucking, it's 100% accessories before, during, and after the fact at that point. That's what they should be charged, honestly, too, for that matter. When they're facilitating this shit is what it is, dude. They should be the ones charged as accessories with it is what it is there, dude. Yeah, and then this T.S. Nelson guy said, where are we now? Pull this up real quick again. Sorry, I'm trying to do this John Wick thing here. Yeah, this guy said, call her son, father, and brother, someone close to her herself, is a pedophile. It says 14 is extremely too young for consent. We live in a screwed up world. Well, see, and that's the thing, right? When you actually look at history of our whole nation and stuff like that, like there was a time, obviously, back like way, way, way long ago. I'm talking about like legit, like before the American Civil War happened, I believe is what it was. They were like 1850s or something like that. And it might even be all the way up to the Old West, like 1880s, like really, really early, like 1900s, maybe at the very latest, I'm guessing. But yeah, there was a time period like 100 plus years ago is what it was, like 120-ish something or more in this country's history, where it used to be most people would only live to see like 30 or 40 at most. And so it was normal to have a bunch of people where you'd have like a dude who was like 18 to 20 or something like that. You'd have a girl who was like 12, 13, 14, something like that, end up getting married and having a family and stuff like that. Usually what it was there, because they knew she was either going to die in childbirth at some point, because of the way that our medical hospitals didn't exist back then. You would have chicks like bleed to death when they had their first kid in most cases and stuff like that, or some cases anyway. Or maybe it's like a second or third child, whatever it is there, and they would end up dying in childbirth of like, complications, placental abruptions, all stuff like that is what it is there. And so, yeah, it was not uncommon to have like, teenage marriages and stuff like that. Now, granted, was it okay? No, not really. But at the same time, it would be a thing because of the fact that, again, it would happen to do with like you being dead by the time you were like 30 or 40 is what it was back then. Because you'd either, walk out into a field to take a piss and have a snake bite your dick or whatever the case be, or like in that one episode of 1883 where it was them trying to cross the fields. You had some chick go to like relieve herself or whatever the case be, and a snake just bit her on the ass and then she dies of fucking, the rattlesnake venom because they didn't have any anti-venom back in those days. Or it would be something where, you're, again, hiking the fucking trails or whatever the case be to, like, discover a new world, and you get mauled by a pack of wolves or a fucking bear or something like that, dude. Like, there was all kinds of dangers. Or it was, you went to Indian territory or something like that, and you got, scalped by some fucking Native American savage person a little bit back then in those days. So that was one of the major unfriendly tribes back in them days then. So yeah, there was all kinds of dangers back in them days that could kill you, man. And it's why at that point it was like sort of a justifiable evil, I guess is what I call it, basically. That being said, obviously there was a time period of history then after that when we, came together as a modern age society, which is what we are now. And we're like, no, like, here's legal age consent now is what it is. And then it became like, 18 across the board at some point. That's what it was. Now, granted, there's still individual states out there that will allow it to be like under that age for some retarded reason. I know it's, I was looking into it a few years ago because there was, people discussing like various relationships and stuff like that. That's what it was there. And I think it was West Virginia or something like that had it like 14 to 16, something like that. That's what it was at one point. And I'm just like, why, dude? And then I think they end up changing their laws here in the last few years now to up to 18 then as well with everybody else then. But anyway. Going back to the comment section there, you got this guy saying drinking is 21, smoking is not 21. Not always, actually. It depends on the state, obviously. So they say drinking smoking age is due to the body/brain still developing in young youth, making poor choices, etc. Says maybe we should increase the age of voting, joining military, going to college, taking on hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt, etc., etc. Yeah, exactly. And then bring age of consent to 21 as well. See, and that's what I'm saying. Like this is kind of like the overreach is what it is there, dude, because you're saying like 21 and over then, or like everything, even though a lot of that stuff should be 18 and over is what it is. So, but yeah, it's just ridiculous what it is there, man. That have to even have sick fuckers out here trying to justify that stuff is what it is, man. So, yeah, this guy here said a couple years ago they sang, "We're coming for your children." The context is being added as every day goes by. Exactly. And somebody else said, "Now that one's a pedophile. If she supports them, she's one, period." Exactly, dude. Yeah, 100%, dude. And this person said the new name is disgusting, and then they put a link to that. IPCE people that are the ones advocating for these pedophiles, what it is there. Yeah, fucking disgusting is what it is, dude. Seriously. And you have this dude in the comment section say, someone must be able to track this call and get any data to find her. Who knows what she has at her house? I mean, it could be anything, dude, at that point, And somebody else said, are they surprised? Been saying for 2 decades that they were going to try to attach themselves to LGBT. So they tried rebranding to minor attracted people. No, they're groomer pedos. So glad that groups like Gays Against Groomers exist. Exactly, dude. In fact, there might be a time period in the near future where I actually join up with those people here in Ohio. I know they have a couple chapters in the state anyway. I'm not sure if there's any locally or not, but I would definitely join their membership, though, for the Gays Against Groomers people, so it is there, man, because it really is time to start dealing with these fucking pedophiles accordingly in our nation. Jesus. Yeah, then we had this guy in the comment section here saying about pedos being out in the open there. And it was a Monty King guy saying, Sneeko, Heel Mike, and Zura are on some pedo shit. Glad Sneeko got his shit rocked. Yeah. It's basically these sickos talking about these young underage girls and stuff like that. It's disgusting. This is what it is, dude. Yeah, these people really are fucking just good. Actually, I was talking to someone recently in a back chat of some kind or something. I forget who it was actually recently. We were discussing something, and it was a I guess, or maybe it was actually on one of these streams. I can't remember offhand. It's hard to say. No, I think it was in the back chat the other day. And I guess there was a story from like the 1800s or early 1900s, something like that. And it's very similar to one that Corey's told before, where it was like dudes taking a guy out to like some barn and like burning the barn and being like, here's a knife, cut your dick off or die, basically. And apparently that actually happened, I guess, in real life, or suppose it did anyway. So, yeah, very interesting indeed, man. I think we're going to leave off with this guy's comment here in this comment section, this drywall doctor guy. He said, can we just take the moral gloves off for a moment, like a purge-style event where when some pedo goes after a kid, they can neutralize them however they want with zero repercussions. Well, it wouldn't even have to be a month, dude. Again, like there's by the way, there's reasons why you now have states like Tennessee. I think Florida was one of them too. Yeah, I think Florida started. Now Tennessee's going on the thing. I want Ohio to get on here as well as what it is, dude. But I know somebody's a bunch of fucking worthless assholes right now on vacation currently. By the way, it's been over 18 months now in the Ohio General Assembly, and they still have yet to pass any Pro-2A legislation, whether it be the Second Amendment Preservation Act, HB 51, or any other pieces of legislation that are on the books right now to make our constitutional carry better from a couple years ago, or make our standing ground better from 3 years ago. So, but yeah, they got about 6 months left to do it, and I don't know if they're going to do it or not right now. But yeah, the real issue is that we just need to have legislation on the books right now. That yeah, if you're going to be molesting kids, you die is what it is, dude. You die by fucking horrible, horrendous treatment is what it is there. Like seriously, bro. So, anyway, going to this dude's comment here, this meta guy. Said, now, when I joined Twitter 2019, I inadvertently ran into a pedophile and ended up going on a whole side quest to get them and their extremely open presence on Twitter banned. That was 5 years ago. Or how about 8 years ago when multiple independent journalists were being systematically censored on Facebook for reporting facts while child porn rings ran freely, literally groups with photos of their own exploited kids and still do. Yeah, so fucking disgusting, dude. And what's even more fucked up, even like looking at like the difference between like, you know, Trump's actual presidency and Biden's fake bullshit presidency for the past 3 years. Now is what it is, dude. So you had Trump for the actual 4 years between 2017 2021, getting shit done. You would hear literally story after story after story on the news of this pedophile ring gets busted in this state. These bunch of sickos get arrested in this state for, you know, child sex trafficking or sex trafficking, et cetera. There's what it is. He was actually getting shit done in the presidency, dude. He was having law enforcement do their fucking job for once and arrest these sick fuckers. Now under Biden's BS administration, you've just had it be ramping up like fucking crazy, where they're just openly fucking saying they are at this point, dude. It just blows me away, honestly, dude. It just completely blows my mind of how we're even allowing this crap to go on right now, dude. And I think a lot of it has to do with exactly what this person was showing here in their post, which is you got fucking Lucifer shaking hands with somebody, and you got kids praying with Jesus. And that's what it is, dude. We are literally fighting demonic evil in this world, dude, is what it is. I personally am helping fight demonic evil in this world. I am a servant of Jesus Christ, of God. And I will do whatever I need to do to make sure that sick fuckers get put away forever, dude. If not, put in the fucking ground, honestly, where they belong. And that is simple as that, dude. I will not let these fucking sick sons of bitches have access to my fucking family, to my fucking kin, to my cousins, to my niece, to my nephew, any of them, dude. Enough is enough of this shit. Going back to this comment section here, this guy saying, with that woman that called up the radio station there, it said, there they go, weaponizing love to defend sexual relationships with underage individuals. They have hijacked love and turned it into justification for pedophilia. It is sick. Pride is not a celebration of love, but that is what they teach children because children understand love. It's absolutely disgusting. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, dude. And that's the entire point of the matter. Actually, this is a pretty good example of what I was talking about there with the slippery slope shit a while ago. Yeah, slippery slope. Just let us get married. Bake our cake. Use our pronouns. Allow minors to dance for us in drag. Let teachers choose your kid's gender. Yep. And we've gone down all the way to there, man, is what it is. It also depends on the leftist state versus a right-wing state and stuff like that. Or like a blue state versus a red state is what it is there. Because red states ain't putting up with shit like this for the most part, dude. In fact, if I was governor of this state right now, I'd ban fucking the whole pride celebrations in the state of Ohio entirely is what it is. Anybody that tries that shit would get their asses fucking thrown in jail then. Especially if they're doing shit with kids is what it is then, dude. They would get arrested for child abuse is what it is then. Which is what needs to be right now, honestly. So. But yeah, it's interesting because the bake our cake thing, there you go. It's the love is love shit right there, dude. And I think the thing is, too, like, when you start out here with the same-sex marriages and stuff like that, that was a different set of gay people or, like, lesbians, whatever the case be, than these fucking sick fuckers down here in their clown masks is what it is, dude. Like, this is, like, several generations down the line is what it is now. Where there actually was people that were just like, hey, we just want to have, like, the ability to have, like, same-sex marriage / benefits that straight couples would get being married and stuff like that, whether it be insurance and stuff like that, or whatever the case be there is what it is. And that's why I think a lot of us were fine with that is what it was, dude. Because we're like, yeah, it's whatever, dude. Like, you shouldn't get fucked out of your, husband / wife's insurance just because you're, married to married to the person of the same sex as there. But that's the problem, though, is that it went from that to now just this fucking psychotic lunacy in the last, 10, 15 years or so, give or take, is what it is there. So, obviously, I can't show this one because it's literally a dude murking some dude out for talking about being into kids. We will throw it onto our X page, though. So, those want to check it out, man. It's on there now. We reposted it. So, but yeah, that's what needs to happen to some of these fucking people, dude, for real. If not all of them, for that matter. Or as people say here with the solution to pedophilia, you got pedocillin. Yep. That would also work for kid killers, by the way, in many cases. I mean, you think about it, man. Pedocillin, like, that was the best thing ever used against that piece of shit who raped Gary Pluchet's son. So. What the hell is Hawk Tara? Apparently some chick saying Hawk Tara. What the fuck? It's just dumb. So. Yeah, this guy's meme says it pretty much correct here is what it is, dude. Tolerance is the path. Your children are a destination. Yeah, it's them trying to basically turn kids into their sick fucking playthings, essentially. And like I said, that first one right there from many, many years ago, I think this is about, 8, 10 years ago now, maybe, or so, give or take. Obama's administration, maybe, or something. Like, that's what I'm saying, dude. That's fucking demonic evil right there is what that is, dude. Acting like they're human beings. Like, they're showing you their Satanism right in your fucking face, dude. Like, it's not that hard to figure out, people. Like, seriously. So. Oh, actually, here's a good one. So that the woman who was actually saying, you know, there's being a pedophile there and the LGBT people is what it is there. So this was 2018 Hollywood Pride Parade. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, pedosexual. Because of course it was, dude. I want to point something out too. Is I'm pretty sure it's that same Pride Parade that current California State Senator Scott Wiener, who was definitely a child molester, I'm pretty sure he was actually at that fucking Pride Parade, dude. So, yeah. Shows you everything you know about that sick fuck, man. For those wondering who I'm talking about Scott Wiener. It's, sorry, hang on. I'm trying to grab a screenshot of this asshole. It's this sick pedo fuck right here is what it is. That dude just has demonic eyes, too, for that matter, dude. Like, he just has, like, the evil in the eyes. Yeah, that dude, like, for 54, that guy definitely made a fucking deal with Satan, man, for youth. Or something. You know. It might be, like, one of those things, because I remember my friend was telling me many, many years ago about, like, we were discussing, like, various, things about like ghosts and stuff like that is what it was, and like spirits trapped in earth and shit. And he was telling me about, I guess there is a thing called psychic vampires, where it's basically it'll be adults usually is what it is that'll get into this shit, and it's essentially like a form of like Satanism more or less. They'll like go through the Satanic Bible and things like that is what it is there. And basically what it is you're like leeching energy and life force off of like the youth of society, and you'll basically bring in yourself and you'll end up being like more youthful for a while is what it is there. But then of course, over time, you need more and more of it to sustain yourself. And eventually what it is that when you do die, your spirit becomes trapped on earth as this basically vessel to continue leeching energy off of like the living, essentially is what it is there. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at least if Scott Wiener is like a psychic vampire or like fucking even an actual vampire for that matter. He's definitely demonic possessed for sure. I can tell you that right now. So, yeah, the guy needs to be kicked out of office for sure, 100%, dude. So, and yeah, he's currently running for re-election this year, is what it is then. Sick son of a bitch. So apparently, I guess California doesn't have an actual term limit for their state senate at all because this fucker's been in there since 2016. Because he should be termed out this year, is what it is, but he's running for third term now, is what it is there. Anybody that votes for this fucking guy needs to have their voting rights denied forever, is what it is, dude, especially at a federal level then. Because if you're actively voting for a piece of shit child molester like this fucking asshole, you don't need to have voting rights over in this fucking country, period. End of fucking story, dude. And it's that simple, honestly. So, anyway. But, yeah, actually, this guy called it pretty much correct with the whole love is love thing. He said, when they say love is love, what they really mean is they want to diddle kids. Yeah, pretty much, exactly. This cooking with a Saul person said, everyone keeps calling me crazy, but I've been saying for a while that the new influx of, quote, hot teacher bangs older student stories is going to be used by Democrats to normalize pedophilia. Nobody ever cares about that. They're going to use these women as poster victims. Exactly. And that's the thing, right? And I'm not saying, and that's the thing, like, not all of them are like good looking like female teachers and stuff like that, dude. Like, there's some that are obviously, but like, there's a lot of them that ain't. But again, it's like the whole really might as well call it the Mary Killer Turner effect at that point because she was the one that did it first, honestly. Like, what's interesting though, because obviously Lifetime portrayed that as like basically her being kind of a victim as well on top of that whole thing, man, is what it was. Don't know if that was the case or not. However, what we do know is that Billy Vallejo, the kid that she ended up, molesting and having a couple kids with, is what it was there. And then eventually they end up having, an actual relationship for a while. And then I think he divorced her, is what it was, or something. And then he's basically since come out in the last couple of years now and been like, oh yeah, I was definitely groomed by this fucking woman. Because in the Lifetime movie that was made about the whole situation there between the two of them, of her preying upon his ass, is what it was how she was basically this like sort of like weirdly kept housewife essentially that was also a teacher. And like it was all like very like Christian household or whatever the case be, where like her and her husband had to like schedule like, random like sexual encounters every so often is what it is there or something. Like kind of like once a month sex or whatever it was there or something. And then eventually it was her basically being like this bored housewife / teacher is what it was there. And then it was the way that Hollywood portrayed it there in the Lifetime movie was you had that Billy Vallejo kid come out there and be talking to his buddy and being like, hey, I bet you I could get on that or whatever the case be kind of thing, whatever with Mary Kay is what it was. And then eventually it was portrayed that way is what it was then. Of essentially like him being the aggressor in that situation and sort of, going after her, if you will, which we don't know if that's true or not, honestly. Again, it's how they portrayed what it was there. And then eventually it was her like being like, oh, no, I can't do this. And then eventually she goes to the kid and being like, okay, fine, we'll do this then. When in reality, it was probably the opposite way around, is my guess, where it was her basically being the aggressor on the kid and him being like, no, I'm not into it, lady. And then eventually being like, okay, fine. But yeah, it seems like, I swear to God, dude, like every single day you can basically just look up like, teacher, student, something or other is what it is there. I'm not even sure what the actual phrasing will be at this point in time of history anyway. But yeah, you can basically look up these stories like every single day is what it seems like anymore. Just, just look up like news stories across the board and it comes to be the whole thing is what it is. So anyway. Let's see, we got this guy here talking about being from the UK, and I think he's talking about gun rights too, if I'm not mistaken. So Americans, please listen. UK, our own police force avoided taking proper action against groomer gangs for decades because they didn't want to appear racist. You have guns, we don't. Take what you want from that information and just know that I would never advocate for violence, just sick of evil and thought I would share it. Yeah, I think I know what they're saying there is what it is, dude. It's basically you have guns, use them kind of thing is what it is, which, again, like, you are seeing vigilante justice to some extent now, dude, is what it is. Where you have people who are, like there was one the other day, it was this guy in, I don't know if it was New York City or where it was at, like Queens maybe or something like that, like one of the boroughs is what it was there. And it was him basically trying to creep on a kid is what it was there. Like, I don't know if it was like a kid, like, under 10 or something like that. Or if it was like a 12, 13, 14-year-old, something like that was what it was there. Either way, it was an underage minor for sure. And yeah, you had basically the entire block essentially come out and beat the fuck out of this dude. And rightfully so at that point. So anyway. Huh. I'm going to check this one out real quick before we go today. Okay, so the entire LGBT movement is based on and around breaking down barriers to normalize pedophilia. This is one of the widely celebrated, quote, pioneers, Alfred Kinsey, coached a known pedophile on how to be scientific with his child rape, which is how we got Table 34. It's fucked up, dude. Yeah, I think I remember hearing this guy's name recently from somebody. I can't remember who it was. I want to say maybe Blair White or somebody like that. Or Buck Angel, maybe? I can't remember. I feel like it was one of those people where it was somebody like close to them is what it was or something, because I know Blair and Buck were calling out this stuff of like the whole like, these sickos trying to groom kids and like turn these kids into like trans minors and stuff like that was what it is and stuff like that, dude. And I want to say it was somebody bring up the Alfred Kinsey guy. Maybe it was AK Nation News, like one of the people on his panel or something like that in the last couple of weeks or something, maybe. I don't know. I feel like I've heard this name like the last like 2 to 3 weeks now, and I can't remember who said it. So this is the problem. Like I'm thinking of people that may have said it is what it is now. But yeah, like that's for sure like the guy that they're talking about there is what it is there. So yeah, and somebody here made a scientist said predator on humanity. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, American sexologist, biologist, professor of entomology and zoology, who in 1947 founded the Institute of Sex Research at Indiana University, known as the Kinsey Institute for Research in Sex, Gender, and Reproduction. Yeah, and then basically was pushing all kinds of disgusting shit what it is there, dude. So, not surprising. Not surprising at all. Yeah. And then we had this woman bringing up this video. I'm not sure this is a TED Talk or what this is from here. It says, how can anyone be surprised by this? Every single, quote, genderqueer theorist who wrote the founding documents of the movement advocates on behalf of pedophilia. Everyone knows that's true, even though a lot of people on the left don't like to admit that. Of course they don't want to admit to themselves, because it would mean that they're actually advocating for and enabling this shit is what it is there, dude. So... See, this is the like, I feel like I feel like there needs to be a third choice in this one for what this person's question was here. It said, honestly, got a question to ask. What's worse, a pedophile, someone who isn't even one, but tries to normalize it anyway? I feel like they're honestly on the same level, is what it is. Like, they're both just as evil, because if it wasn't for the people trying to enable it, a lot of it wouldn't exist, because we'd be able to deal with it accordingly, and it wouldn't be a fucking issue then. But then obviously you have the actual pedophiles themselves, who are the ones that commit the disgusting acts against kids, is what it is there, dude. But at the same time, you have the people who are the advocates for these sick fuckers, who are the ones, like I said, enabling the shit. And then also on that same vein of things are, you might as well say, psychologically and mentally fucking up these kids' heads and think it's okay is what it is then. So, yeah, I'm not sure, honestly. Like, if it was between those two choices, like, which is the worst one, I'm going to say pedophile on that one, obviously. But, like, I think, truthfully, there's going to be a third option on that one. It needs to be, like, both are just as evil as each other is what it is there. So, okay, so we got E20 pedo then. So, yeah, there really should have been a third option they put on there then, being like, both are just as evil as one another is what it is there or something. Because that's the real truth of the matter, dude. They're both as evil as each other is what it is there. So, anyway. Yeah, somebody else was saying here in the comment section about the woman there. It said, don't know what he was trying to say there, but 19 and 17 should be fine under the same law with 16 and 18. Well, there a lot of states also have that Romeo and Juliet thing is what it is there, dude, where it's supposed to be, I think it's like a 3-year age gap or something like that. And that's the thing, right? Like, there was a lot of kids I went to high school with back in, the 2000s and stuff like that, where you'd have in my class that were like 14, 15 is what it was, in relationships with dudes who were like juniors and seniors and stuff like that, who at the time were like either 17 or just about to turn 18 is what it was there. And everybody seemed cool with that, obviously. And the really interesting part about the whole thing is that a lot of them people got married to each other then later on, is what it was. So, I know my mom used to talk about how between her and my father, who, by the way, when they met each other, were both legal age adults in this country. She was 30-ish, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe 29 or something like that. And he would have been in his 40s, I believe is what it was. Because there was a 14-year age gap between them is what it was there. So, yeah, when she was going into I want to say kindergarten, he would have been over in Korea fighting on one of the military warships. There was what it was in the Navy. So then it wasn't until, like I said, decades and decades later they actually met each other through mutual friends, and then eventually had my brother, and then my sister, and then eventually I was the surprise baby of all of it. So, Sorry, I was laughing about this post here. Somebody said, doctor said you must take 3 of these and you'll feel better than some dude loading a magazine. Yeah. For sure, for sure. So. Trying to figure out if this is like a trigger crank gun or if it'd be a full auto of some kind. It's just weird. Just go ahead and show the GIF. Here's what it is. Yeah, because them like pulling something and it's like, it looks like it's a little one in the chamber there or something, maybe. Not sure. Because I know there are some now where you can do like, it's like a weird, like little, like a spin around, like trigger kind of crank thing is what it is there. So, but I think that would be military full auto if I'm not mistaken. Again, don't know enough about that kind of stuff to really discuss it, unfortunately, but I know enough about some guns to make sense, but then there's other guns I don't know a thing about is what it is there, so it's whatever. So, and of course you got Inino picking up on that one we talked about earlier with the fucking piece of shit pedo for Maryland Democrats there. This leader of the Maryland Democratic Party was allegedly caught in a child sex predator sting. Michael Knepin, chair of the Maryland Democrat Party LGBTQ Division Council, allegedly talked about wanting to molest a 14-year-old boy. Fucking disgusting, dude. It is. So we got 2 thugs race and fight each other to steal FedEx packages just seconds after packages dropped off on someone's doorstep. Clip was shared by the homeowner on Facebook and shows the men jumping out of their cars as they race for the package. Jesus Christ, dude. Okay, so you got the FedEx driver. Oh, it was 2 different dudes in 2 different cars. Okay. Trying to fight each other. Jesus Christ, dude. Fuck's sakes, man. You know, you would think if you were that brazen about it, like, why wouldn't one of you just jump out and steal the entire FedEx truck, for God's sakes, man? Like, seriously. Or if the driver's over here doing whatever, then, like, run over to his truck and just steal a bunch of packages out of it or something, dude, for God's sakes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would make more sense to do that, honestly, at this point. So, yeah, that's crazy stuff, man. We got this one here. It said, you're in London. You open your window and see what's outside. This is what happens. This is what you see. What's on your mind? Well, I sure as shit wouldn't be in London. I'll tell you that right now. And I sure as shit wouldn't be in an unarmed nation across this earth. Is what it is, dude. Because fuck that. Somebody here said, would you get a face tattoo like this for $1 million? Hell no. That's what I never understood about like anybody, whether it be male, female, etc. Dude, why would you fuck your face up like that? Like God's perfect creation being your face with just disgusting man-made ink is what it is, dude. Which, by the way, those don't know, there's been studies that have been done recently that talked about how a lot of modern day tattoo inks have a shitload of fucking cancerous shit in them, dude, is what it is. So, just saying, you know, why would you want to ink your body like that and potentially put a bunch of heavy metal contamination into it through the ink is what it is, man. Unless you just really hate yourself, which I would think you would, because that's like really fucking close to the eye right here for this piece of it. And yeah, it just looks fucked up in general, dude. Like, what is wrong with you? It kind of reminds me that the daughters from the Pitbulls and Broly show that were out there doing a bunch of stuff. And over like the last like few years now, or whatever, they just got a shitload of tattoos on each one of their bodies, and it's just so disgusting looking. Is what it is, dude. Like the Mariah girl has that big ass, weird, gross ass neck tree tattoo. Is what it is. There, it's like just ugh. What the fuck, man? So. Speaking of the one I was talking about the other day, about the shoplifters and stuff like that, we got the old quote from Dipshit AOC. They're put in the position where they feel like they either shoplift bread or go hungry. Yeah, they're really shoplifting bread, you stupid fucking cunt. No, they're shoplifting a shitload of fucking designer clothes and shoes and shit, you dumb bitch. What's sad and pathetic about that last one is the kid stopped. He could have been caught had the guy not been a fat piece of shit running after him, dude. He could have beat his ass probably, too, for that matter. This is what somebody was talking about the other day about. This is why we're all going to go to online retail only pretty soon, is what it'll be. It's like, no, what you're going to see is you're going to see an uptick in either one of two things happening there. It would either be people not being allowed in stores as not accompanying minors anymore, is what it'll be. Where you have to have somebody at the door basically allowing people in and out, is what it'll be then. Or it'll be a situation of, again, just like we see in all these major cities across the country right now, is what it is, where everything's locked behind plastic and glass and shit now. And you have to call an attendant just to get a fucking bar of soap and, you know, some bread, essentially, is what it is there. So, yeah. Speaking of pedophiles in our society, specifically Hollywood pedophiles in our society, I'm pretty sure this bitch was Baby Spice. Spice Girl singer Emma Bunton sends video message encouraging children to be trans. Said, quote, we see you, we hear you, we support you, and we celebrate you. Get fucked, you fucking demonic piece of shit. Fucking sick, disgusting woman, dude. I swear to God, dude, it's like every fucking day anymore, dude. Just every fucking day. Got this little girl here feeding a chipmunk. I think it's going ham on them nuts, man. I guess these are seeds, technically speaking, maybe pellets even. So. It's a big old boy for sure. That's a lot of fucking. It's a lot of fucking shit it was pouching up. That's the one thing I always thought was really interesting about some of these animals, like whether it be like chipmunks or like hamsters and stuff like that, is they have those like crazy like pouches in their cheeks and stuff to where they can pouch up like it's like 20 or 30 nuts or something like that, or like seeds, or whatever the case be, and then they'll like spit them up into a hole later on so they can eat them, whatever the fuck they feel like is what it is then. I remember years ago, I was a kid and I was watching that Batman Beyond series where it was these like crazy like hybrid people. I think they were called like splicers or something like that. What it was is they were splicing like their human DNA with like that of like a cat's DNA, so they could have like crazy like eyes that can see in the dark and shit like that, or something else for that matter. And I feel like that would actually be an interesting mechanism to have, would be like some kind of like crazy like cheek pouches as like a human being and stuff like that. Like I feel like there would be an advantage to that in our human society is what it is, man. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. So anyway. This one says news cycle moves too quickly. 12 days ago, regime media buried story very quickly. What was this story about? Oh, it was a piece of shit Pelosi literally fucking admitting that she caused January 6th, basically. I actually heard a really good AI created song the other day. It was that Andrew Wilson guy that goes on whatever podcast from time to time. And he said it was going to be dropping this thing. I could never find the thing because it was a badass fucking go is what it was there, dude. So here's an issue that I have right here with this one, dude. So we got, quote, they are humans, not dogs. Kentucky dad of a quintuplet, shamed for walking kids on a leash. And somebody said, don't see a problem with it. So here's my thing with that, dude. As someone who has had a niece who was a young kid like this age in the past, dude, knowing how fast these little kids can run with their teeny little legs is what it is, dude. Like, yeah, you have all 5 of them going in 5 different directions, dude. You're just fucked as a single parent. So you have to have them on something, dude. Whether it be, leashed up, whether it be a tether or something else for that matter. Not to mention the fact that, again, if you're going to be, this is going to be some kind of amusement park or something else for that matter, dude, who's to say there's not some fucking predator out there trying to steal your fucking kids or something like that, dude? Or meanwhile, if you have them on the leash and stuff like that, at least you can have them be, within like a couple feet of you is what it is there. Versus, God forbid, one of them goes off on their own or wherever the case be and then gets snatched up by some sicko in the streets is what it is there, man. So no, I don't see a problem with this at all, actually. In fact, I would encourage this behavior, honestly, more. Maybe not this particular behavior of, like, harnessed children, essentially, but, like, more or less just have them be, like, because I've seen other ones where it's just, like, them on, like, they have, like, a giant tether or whatever the case be, where it's, like, mom's carrying, like, the first thing or dad's carrying the first piece of it, whatever the case be, and then it's, like, every kid has, like, a loop they can hold on to is what it is or something. And I think that would be more inclined to be what needs to be done there is what it is there. So... like maybe have dad in the back of the tether or something like that, and then just have all the kids, like, one by one or whatever the case be, and then if nothing else, have it be something where, like, you strap like a wrist or something into it, if that be the case, and the tether things or something. Like, that would be a better way to do it, I think, honestly. But and I can see how this would look to people being like, oh, it's so bad or whatever the case be, but it's like, I guarantee the same people that are saying that shit about, like, oh, they're humans, not dogs, or whatever the case be, are people who have never actually had an entire pack of kids at once like that, dude. Or have had, like, multiple kids around the same age ranges and stuff like that. That's what it is there. So, yeah, they don't know what the fuck they're really talking about is what it is, man. So, anyway. Let's go ahead and see what some of the comment section says on this one, actually. I think that's what we're going to leave off today, is what it'll be then with this kind of interesting story, I guess. Yeah, let's see there. It said, until you've had a toddler and experienced the trauma of losing him when he took off in a crowd, you can keep your opinions to yourself. Had no problem putting a harness on him after that. Exactly. And the original poster here said, get it. Totally would totally freak out if I lost my daughter in the crowd. Somebody else said, far more wrong with trying to walk 5 toddlers without them. Somebody said, bunch of people who don't have kids trying to shame a man with 5 of them means nothing. Exactly. Let's see. Right wing dude here said, actually pretty smart. How else to keep a close eye on 5 kids? Somebody else said, nope. Those who do never had to deal with 5 loaded springs, all wanting to pop loose in 5 different directions at the same time. Kudos to mom and dad for figuring out a way to keep all the kids safe. Exactly. Somebody else said, kids are obviously well fed, nicely clothed, well groomed, and happy. People should mind their own business. Exactly. Somebody else said, the safest way to do this. Anyone who disagrees has never tried to keep up with 1 toddler, let alone 5. Somebody else says, perfect. Toddlers have a habit of dashing off in the wrong direction. Saw one suddenly run in front of a bus, which managed to emergency brake without a second to spare. Jesus Christ, dude. This LJ Lindsay said, safest way to walk multiple children. Been used safely since 1960s when my mom used it on me and my siblings. Prefer to see this than a lose a childhood predator. Exactly, dude. Somebody else said their mother used it for a little brother who would run everywhere and cross the roads, even with cars. She also had a little sister with her when she walked to school. So the woman here said, 3-year-old daughter was snatched from my side on a crowded day at Six Flags. Almost lost her forever. See nothing wrong with a man wanting to protect his children. Exactly. And somebody responded back to her and said, thank God didn't lose her. Children all grow up. I have 7 grandchildren now. When I go to their football and baseball games, watch all of them like a hawk because you never know who is watching them as well. Exactly. Somebody else did 0. Worked as a nanny in New York City. A few decades ago, a friend of the family had twins, age 3. Mother and nanny getting out of the cab, and one child bolted into the road, dead. Jesus. So these reins have a purpose. Used in the right context, absolutely 100% okay with it. Yeah, and that's exactly why right there. You have a kid, you set the kid down wherever the case be, and they could literally run out into the middle of the road, being dumb, basically. And yeah, they're just gone for what it is there, man. So, yeah, just crazy stuff, dude. Again, like I said, it's people who don't know a damn thing about raising kids is what it is there. Yeah, I have no problem with it, man. So, actually, what this one looks like is it looks like a backpack that has like a carabiner attached to it on this one. This woman's showing here's what it is. So, but yeah, if I was ever going to take like my own, potentially future young children to like a park or the zoo or something like that, or maybe even like a fucking state fair or something like that, I would definitely have them on something like that. Is what it is. Just because you know I'm going to lose those kids is what it is. So, anyway. But yeah, everybody else is basically saying the same thing, like, nah, just leave it be. So, yeah. Yeah, somebody here said Kentucky dad with 2 hands and 6 toddlers found a sensible way to keep them safe. Yeah, exactly. So, but anyway, I think that's what we're going to end today off with. I got some stuff I got to do. Plus, it's almost 6 a.m. So, we're going to leave it with this right now. There are way too many predators in our society right now. They need to be dealt with accordingly. And it's time to basically take this country back from a bunch of demonic sickos is what it is, man. And go from there. Although I will leave off with this one right now. One more story for the day. So why are countries doing this? Germany's top model winner. Random German track runner. I mean, I think they're both good looking in the face anyway, dude. Like, yeah, the first one might have a little bit of poundage on her, dude, but who gives a fuck? Like, I'd definitely bang both of those chicks, honestly. So, that's just my preference on the whole thing. And I'm sure there's many others out there that would say the same thing as me, man. And there's a lot of people that don't want to admit to themselves is what it is. So, anyway. Jesus Christ. Actually, we'll leave off with this one here at the end. 10 hours ago, this is TikTok. Joy Reid accuses Elon Musk of being racist to Don Lemon during an interview and dehumanizing black people. She does realize that Elon Musk literally grew up in South Africa, right? Like, just saying. Like, the dude is literally a white South African dude. But he might be actually mixed now I'm thinking about it. I'm not sure offhand. I can't remember. But yeah, it's interesting, dude. Actually, this is a story we're going to leave off with. This last story here is that Neil dude that Corey and I were talking about a while ago. I forget what this guy's last name is, but he's one of those actors that's been in a bunch of stuff. And then somebody said, wonder why you haven't seen this guy in a while. Well, there's several reasons. The guy is pro-Christian. He's pro-gun. He is basically just a good dude is what it seems like in Hollywood. And he also has a rule where he won't do any kind of like sex scenes or anything else like that with any females or dudes for that matter, even for that. And rightfully so on that, obviously. Because he's like, no, I'm a happily married man. Like, that's for me and my wife to do stuff, not for me and like some random actress to do stuff, is what it is. So, he did a movie actually here, I think it was a couple years ago. It was one of those like, was either like a Pure Flix movie or it was a something similar to that though. And it was I can't remember if he played like the devil in it or what it was. But it was very interesting either way. But yeah. Then there was also that Ryan Phillippe movie a couple of years ago called The Second, I believe was what it was. And it was supposed to be about the Second Amendment and shit. And it was a really stupid plot line to it, but it actually sounded like a pretty good movie though. Because it was essentially about like Supreme Court like doing away with the Second Amendment because of like some dude's daughter being kidnapped or something. And it's just like, yeah, because that's really gonna work, buddy. Not. So anyway. But so we got dozens of cyber trucks ready for delivery in Fort Lauderdale were vandalized with the words "fuck Elon." Dude, I'd be beating some people's asses that fucked up my vehicle like that. Seriously, fuck those people. Bunch of punk ass pieces of shit, dude. By the way, for those that haven't heard, this is actually we're going to lead off with this story for the day. This is actually important as the last story of the day right now. If you haven't heard, they're basically fucking over Idaho farmers right now with water stuff because there was some bullshit legislation. I think it was Biden or somebody put it through that basically allows for fracking in the state of Idaho now. And you literally have farmers now being fined $300 per acre for using water, even though reservoirs are full. Yeah, they're trying to basically destroy our fucking food supply. Is what it is, dude. 100%. This is the first fucking step right here in like a 4 or 5 step process to an actual purge level event in this country. And it will definitely be like food rioting and stuff like that in the next 6 months to a year or so because of that shit right there. So, yeah, people need to wake up, pay attention, and realize it's time to start growing our own fucking food, man. Which, unfortunately for me, I would love to stay in this place, but I'll be gone from here in a month now. And yeah, I can't plant anything currently because it's going to be taking too long to grow then. And the places I've looked into to even go to, there's only one of them I found locally that could even do anything, and it would just be like a couple plants on the porch basically that would be a little bit of stuff to grow or something. But yeah, there's no real like area where I can like plant anything or anything like that is what it is there. So also, for those that haven't heard, there was also another one out here where it was a basketball event in New Jersey. It was supposed to be New Jersey, I believe what it was, where it was a nothing but ass basketball tournament. And it was a bunch of bitches twerking in high school that got called out, and then they eventually canceled the whole fucking thing. So, yeah, just the ghetto trash our society really is what that is, dude. 100%. So, but anyway. But yeah, I need to pay attention to Idaho for sure right now with the shit going on there. Definitely need to pay attention to what is going on with everybody. Here's what it is, man. And deal with this shit accordingly is what it is, man, because people are definitely fucked up in general is what it is. Yeah, I just reposted a thing here to our X page that says military dad sees transgender daughter for the first time and is obviously like in tears because he realizes his son's now his fake daughter. Yeah, it's just fucked up, man. Actually, we want to talk about actual hate crimes in this country. It's a gay dude gets shot with paintballs in the hood for calling another man cute. And that was definitely racially motivated too, for that matter. And also, I would say sexually motivated too on that one, dude. Because it looks like a white guy's the one getting blasted with paintballs into his vehicle by, it's like 2 black males. Will it actually be charged as a hate crime? Of course it won't be, because fucking, our society is shit like that is what it is, dude. Even though there's actual fucking hate crimes here is what it is. So, anyway. Then you got this one, which is a California woman, 18, now suing doctors for removing her breast when she was 13 because she thought she was trans after seeing influencers online. I'm not sure if that's the one that I've been talking about for a while now, where it's one of these detransitioner chicks suing Kaiser Permanente is what it is, over that stuff. And it would be one of the friends, I believe, of Chloe Cole, if I'm not mistaken. So, but yeah. Huh. Well, look for actually, we'll leave off with this one now. I'm thinking about it, since we are, doing pro 2A stories too, for that matter, and obviously anti-sick fucks like this one right here. Breaking search warrant notes revealed trans shooter Audrey Hale told staff at Vanderbilt University Medical Center that she wanted to kill her father in an active school shooting. Says Hale was a patient at the medical center's psychiatric hospital, and records were obtained. Yeah, she should have been a person, dude. Like, what the fuck? How did she even have a hand? How did she even have any guns at all, for that matter, dude? When she was obviously a fucking lunatic nut job. Like, everybody needs to get their asses fucking put away for this shit now, dude. Like, I would even honestly blame her mom for that matter, because her mom that morning even asked her, she was like, "What's in the bag, daughter?" And she just ignored her and walked out the fucking door with a bag full of guns. Like, the bitch is living in your house, lady. Fucking take the goddamn bag out of her hand and open it up. Like, for fuck's sakes, man. It's a bunch of bullshit is what it is, dude. So, anyway. Yeah. Meanwhile, you got the dude burning out on the fucking gay pride flag that's been painted on the fucking streets. A hate crime, but yet this fucking sick cunt killing a bunch of Christian kids is not a hate crime. Although it might be if they'd actually been alive right now and not, executed on the spot by fucking, an armed response SWAT team there. Which is what needs to happen every single one of these fucking pieces of shit is what it is, dude. The mainstream media needs to stop talking about this shit and creating more of them then. So, anyway. But yeah, that's where we're at for the day. I'll be back later tonight, hopefully, with another episode of Stand Your Ground Saturday. I'm not sure what we'll discuss this time around. It might just be another kind of whatever one is what it is, a bunch of Pro 2A stories and stuff like that, and just whatever's going on for the day is what it is there. I still want to do that Chad guy from Texas, his defense against or no, sorry, not Chad. Kyle from Texas, his self-defense against that Chad guy who was in a relationship with his ex and stuff like that. Because I'm not so sure that was a self-defense shooting or not, dude. And it very much seems like there was way, way more to the story than everybody's talking about there. Because it's like everybody and their brother in that situation was like screwing each other's exes and stuff like that, it seemed like. So, I don't know. I know there's like a civil lawsuit against that dude, though, at some point here. I'm not sure if that's going anywhere or not, but yeah, it's pretty interesting either way. As far as I'm aware, we have not had any updates to Akron, that block party shooting at all. Like, I'm pretty sure that person or the people that created that one is still on the loose there. As far as I'm aware right now. Oh, okay. I guess I am wrong. I guess there was a update to that story a few days ago, which was we'll just talk about that right now before we go. Then actually, yeah, it was Akron police identify suspect vehicle in deadly mass shooting. This was on the 18th, so day before Juneteenth. City of Akron Tuesday announced their police department identified suspect vehicle on the June 2nd. I'm going to call it what it is, hood violence. shooting spree. It's not a mass shooting. It's a shooting spree. Only one guy died in the situation. Says, according to city spokesman, suspect vehicle is a white SUV with dark tinted windows. Investigators say the vehicle is believed to have traveled southbound from Kelly Avenue immediately after the shooting. Shooting injured 27 people and left 27-year-old Lataris Cook dead. The saddest fact about that Cook guy was he was only there for like 45 minutes before he got killed. It says ATF and Summit County Crime Stoppers, as well as U.S. Marshals, offered an additional reward of $22,500 for information that leads to identification, arrest, and subsequent prosecution of the suspect. Yes or no, basically. So as of last week, 29-year-old man, 37-year-old man remained in critical condition at local hospitals. Their names have not been released. The youngest victim was 19 years old. It says the $22,500 reward for information with the suspects can be called out at these numbers. Here's what it is. So, yeah, hopefully they find the people. I really think it was more than one, honestly. I don't think it was just one guy. I think it was probably a couple guys that got, like I said, most likely what happened was it was a bunch of dudes that had beef with people at the fucking party. There's what it was. Probably everybody was drunk as fuck and high as fuck, etc. there. And then people were like, get the fuck out of here, Tyrone, or whatever the fuck it was then. And then, it was Tyrone and his buddy or whatever. Then leave and then go fucking shoot, circle the fucking block and just start blasting is what it was then, dude. So, anyway. Jesus. Yeah, then we got that video of the pedo that's being called out there, and then that stupid Antifa bitch. It was an attempt to make sure a brown person was okay. Yeah, fucking pedophile was okay. Those that sick bitches with this dude. So, anyway. Yeah, I've just honestly fucking had it with people at this point, dude. Just across the board. So, yeah. This dude was talking about rat snakes. There was like two of them call up with each other, and they were like, are they fighting, or was it them trying to reproduce and stuff like that? It's like, yeah, I wouldn't know, dude. I wouldn't know. So, in fact, fuck snakes in general, dude. These things are terrible. But anyway, sorry, I was looking at something right now. But not seriously though, it's fucking ridiculous, dude, is what it is. And yeah, people are gonna do hood violence every chance they get is what it is there. And the only way to deal with that shit is start, hitting down with the fucking clamps is what it is right now, dude, and like, crushing that shit under with massive prison time. Stop letting repeat offenders back out on the streets and stuff like that, dude. Stop letting, in the case of that fucking piece of shit there in Nashville, stop letting these fucking people who are obviously threats to society out of fucking medical centers and stuff like that when they should be in a nut house someplace. It's as simple as that, really. And really start dealing with pedophiles the way they fucking need to be dealt with, which is at minimum hardcore prison time, not death penalty sentences. What it is there, man, for real. So, anyway. But yeah, that's where I'm at for the day, though. Like I said, I'll be back later tonight with another Stand Your Ground Saturday. Hopefully we'll have a panel on that one. Sorry about not doing Freedom Friday yesterday. Again, I was not feeling it, dude. Like, I was just feeling like absolute shit, honestly. So I think it was the heat and stuff like that. So hopefully I'll be back tonight is what it is then. My cousin's supposed to come over here today at some point to help me out and do some stuff, but I don't know exactly when that's going to be. But yeah, we're going to try to get my room mostly cleared today, I think is what it'll be, or at least partially cleared anyway. I still got a couple weeks that I can fuck around with stuff, but yeah, it needs to be done more now than ever is what it is there. My sister was giving me shit yesterday about how like separating stuff down and stuff like that. I'm like, you realize my finger is not working right now, right? Like, specifically with this pinky finger, like both these knuckle joints are so fucking arthritic anymore. I can't even bend it properly past this point right now. I can't even make a good fist anymore properly because it's so fucked up right now. And when I do, it hurts like shit to do it then. So, and then she was giving me shit about because I want to keep some of mom's yarn to start maybe crocheting. So it is. She's like, oh, well, if your hands are that fucked up, you'll think you crochet. It's like, it's none of your fucking business what I do with that, dude. And hell, it might not even be me crocheting with it in the future. It might be my fucking future wife or something like that, for God's sakes. And again, it's my fucking, you know, it's my ability to do what I want to do is what it is there, man. If I want to take that with me, I can take it with me then. You know? So, not to mention that piece of shit in Nashville was actually known to the fucking feds for that matter, too. Although, to be fair, like the problem with that one is the whole, like, oh, they're always known to the feds or whatever the case be, dude. Like, people could have said the same shit about me fucking 5 years ago. Be like, oh, he was known to the feds. Even though I was never going to do anything as what it was there, man. So, it's like, yeah, I got a fucking fed knock and a talking to because these dickheads don't understand freedom of speech is what it is. And what if scenarios are always what it is there. So, anyway. Okay, it was the Tennessee Star here that they were talking about with that piece of shit in Nashville there. Yeah, so there's Metro Nashville PD notes that Covenant killer Roger Hale received a Vanderbilt University Medical Center tied to metadata to police investigator who secured search warrant. That may end up being just our standard ground Saturday story then. So, or at least one of them anyway then. About like, and this is why prohibited people should exist, this is what it is kind of thing or something. You know? Or really it's a failure of government to not make people prohibited is what it is then, dude. So, anyway. But, yeah, it's time to really start treating gender dysphoria like it needs to be treated, dude, with serious, you know, mental hospitals again and stuff like that is what it is, for real. And start treating mental illness like it needs to be treated with, you know, institutionalization, stuff like that is what it is, man. So, anyway. But, yeah, other than that, that's where we'll be at for the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this grandstand. And it really is time to start dealing with leftists when they are brazenly trying to do pedo shit in our society. End of fucking story. Peace out, y'all. Stay safe, stay vigilant, always be carrying. Because you never know what's going to happen. Later, everybody.